For my presentation perfectionists, if you don't enjoy having mistakes in your audio or your drawing, this video is for you. However, it does take a little more time to do. So if you want to know how to do it, stick with me. If you're anything like me, you can barely get through lines even though you've rehearsed them millions of times. The only reason I sound clear in my videos is through the magic of editing. And so we're going to utilize the magic of editing in this particular way of working with your PowerPoint. So we'll start by inserting audio. Come up to the Insert tab. And we'll come over here and we have the audio area. We're going to choose to record audio. All right, I'm going to come down here and name this Audio 1 so that I stay organized as I will be recording multiple pieces of audio using this tool. All right, so I'm going to focus on just recording this first sentence. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content, which leads to the reception of instant feedback and tips. Okay, big thing to note, make sure you press stop before you press OK or you lose your audio. So I can replay that back. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content, which leads to the reception of instant feedback and tips. Wonderful. Okay, we'll click OK. Now I'm going to try and work on the next sentence. Come back up to audio, to record audio, and then we are going to name this Audio 2. Now let's give this sentence a shot. I'm going to hit record. This highly active process is proven to increase exam scores. Oh man. Okay. So I coughed. That didn't work out. We can either cancel this, but I will also show you, click OK. So I can play back what I've recorded. If I take this apart, you'll see that here's audio number 1. And then if I play this, I'll realize that this is audio number 2. This highly active process is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to delete that one and then I can try again. So what I'm going to do is just record a few more things. I'm going to put you on pause here and then I'll meet you on the other side when I've recorded all my audio that I want for this slide. All right, I am back with you and I've got my audio recorded that I want for this slide. So what I'm going to do is in this instance, when I export this to video, recording audio through this way, it's going to leave this little icon here in the center. I don't want that, but there's really no way I can get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is just select these audios by dragging a selector box over them, and then I'm just going to move them down to the corner. Then it's not so unsightly. All right, the next thing I want to do is stagger these audio pieces amongst my animations because these pieces come in at different rates. So to do that, let's go to our animation area, and then I'm going to come to animation pane. So now you'll see my audio pieces I just put in are down here at the bottom of all these animations. So unfortunately, there's no hard and fast rule as to how this is going to work for you. You kind of have to play with different settings with your animations and your pieces of audio. The one thing I do know is that audio will always play one after another, so no matter what your settings, Audio 2 will never run and mix and scramble my my voice and anything I'm saying. It will never scramble the two, which is kind of nice. So that's a nice fail-safe to keep in mind. But what I want to do is I want this piece of audio to play about the same time this particular area is happening because that's what I'm talking about. So let's just pull this up here. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a testing here. Maybe I'll have the first sentence play right after, let's see, the straight connector. I believe that's this piece. Actually, I want to play and make sure your audio isn't playing on click because that doesn't make your animation play as smooth. But you might want to do like with previous or after previous. With previous, again, you just want to play with it to make sure that the timing feels good to you. Audio 2, I might have then the next, let's see here, text box. What is the text box doing? That's playing with previous. Okay, I think I might leave this here And then audio 3, I want to play with down here. Let's see here. So what do we have? All of these, I think, okay, this is after previous. That's good. I think that's what I want. So I'm just going to try and stick this up here. We're going to play this. Actually, let's move it up a little bit more. Okay, we're going to play this. It might not go as wonderfully as planned. Let's try it out. Let's see what we have. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content, which leads to the reception of instant feedback and tips. This highly active process has proven to increase exam scores from the 50th to the 70th percentile and cut the dropout rate in technical fields by 22%. Okay, so the headline is not at all going where I want it to be. The audio is starting before my headline, and I think that's kind of crazy. So I'm actually going to move that up here. And then we'll move this down one more. And we might actually want to keep those audios together because it is the same content, or same paragraph. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content. Okay, don't quite like that either. How do I get my text box with previous? I think we might just have to do this. I think I want the words to appear on screen before the audio comes in. And then what's cool is then this will keep building, and I think this will go down here. And then this audio should play then as this starts to show up. So I'm just going to play it one more time. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it feels. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content. Awesome. I really like that. I really, really like that. So we are good to go here. Now the next step is, let's add a little bit of drawing. To do that, let's come on over to Draw. And here we have a fun few set of tools here. You can always create like a new preset or use your own just by playing with the Add Pen, Pencil, Highlighter. Even when you click on one of these, you have the option to change colors and the width. Let's play with the width on this one. And we're going to use the Galaxy pen because why not? So what I'm going to do is just come on in here. I am just going to draw on the screen really quickly. So, I mean, when we first talk about mobile access, why wouldn't I just want to point a big arrow at it? It's an ugly arrow, I'll give you that. But I brought a little bit of life to the screen that, well, if I didn't have animation in here, it's a quick, easy way to do it. So now that I drew that, I'm actually going to select it, and we want to make this a part of our whole animation process. So I'm going to select the drawing that I just did. I'm going to come back to animations, and you do have to do this every time you draw on the screen while we build our lecture this way. Again, I told you it was detailed, time-consuming, but you get to be as nitpicky as you want. So now that we're in here, the animation I want to choose for my drawing is to do replay. So it's replaying my exact drawing. And as you can see down here, it's now in our animation pane. So I have the option to drop it wherever I want it to fall within this whole sequence. So let's pick where we want it to fall. And just for time's sake, I'm not going to put it like all the way down in the animation. Let's see here. It says it's starting on click. Let's have it go after previous. All right, and let's just play it really quickly so you can see what it looks like. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using. Awesome! I'm really excited about that. Okay, let's add one other animation just so we can just so you can see, I guess, the different possibilities you have access to. So I'm going to go back over to Draw. I'm going to grab a highlighter, and I'm going to come down here, oops, and make sure, yep, you have Draw with Touch in place, and then touch your screen with your finger or your stylus, and I'm just going to highlight this rocket. And the highlighting got a little crazy, but we're just here to demonstrate. So I'm going to go and I'm going to select now my highlighting, come back to animations, do replay, and then we get to see a quick sample of what it looks like. And I'm now going to drag it back up here kind of to the appropriate place. So it's going to have to be, I guess, right after the rocket. And if I just play right from right here, just so you can see how it looks. And there we go. My animation is done. It's ready to go. I fiddled with it. I have things moving, I have vocals, I have animation, and I get to have it running exactly like I want. And if I have any mess ups, I'm free to rip it out and just replace it. So now, once we've done that, we want to export this thing. And it's a little bit different than just using the slideshow recording tool. So let's go take a look at how we're going to do that. To export this as a video, we're going to come on over to File. And let's see here, we'll come down to Export and we'll do Create a Video. Make sure it's on full HD 1020p. And this is going to seem a little scary. I know what you're thinking. I just worked really hard on recordings and animations. Basically, this option is trying to pull what you would be using if you used the slideshow recording tool. So since we did not, just leave this as is. Trust me, that's what we need to do when we build through the animation pane rather than the slideshow recording tool. And the next option is seconds spent on each slide. Now this is only for if you have a slide that you don't have any animations or any audio recordings or any moving parts really. How long do you want that slide to display in your video? And 5 seconds is a little quick. 10 seconds I think is really good. If you have, like, students always have the option to pause the video, which is great. But if you make it too slow, then a student kind of starts to wonder, like, hey, is my connection going wrong? 10 seconds is really good. So from there, let's go and create a video. Okay, so once we get in here, I'm already in the folder I want it to be, but I'll show you. I just go to my desktop. I have a mobile learning lecture folder built already, but I have to learn how to spell a little bit better. My apologies. And I'm going to name this. I've done a previous version of the mobile learning lecture using the slideshow tool, but since we use the animation pane, I'm actually going to name this mobile learning lecture animation pane. And make sure it's an MP4 and let's hit save. So one thing to keep in mind is we're creating a video right now, and that's probably one of the largest file types you could really be working with on your computer. So it's going to take a little while for it to completely save. And you'll be able to see the progress of how that's all going by just checking out this bottom status bar area, and you'll know then when it's done and ready to review. So I'm just going to hang out here and I'll meet back up with you when everything is done. Our video just finished, so let's go take a look at it. All right, let's lower that. And I'm going to come to the folder I saved it in. And here I have my PowerPoint. And then I had that first version of the lecture I did, but here is the video we just made. So let's check it out. All right, I did no speaking on this slide. And you'll see some of these glitches happen. That's not going to happen when you get it online. I'm not sure why it does on your desktop, and it might not for you, but for my particular computer, it seems to be doing it. I've seen a few other people. So if you see a little bit of flashing or glitching back and forth between each slide, don't worry about it. It's normal, just as long as once you get it into UJA and into your Blackboard course, it's not doing this. Sharing is almost instantaneous amongst everyone using the same content, which leads to the reception of instant feedback and tips. This highly active process has proven to increase exam scores from the 50th to the 70th percentile and cut the dropout rate in technical fields by 22%. Why agnostic learning? Whether it's face-to-face, online, or hybrid, we're offering multiple ways to meet new students' needs. Give yourself a high five if you want. Do a victory dance. You worked really hard on your presentation. It's ready to go. So I'm so proud of you for sticking around through this entire tutorial. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to contact Deb Mance or Michelle Craft in the Teaching and Learning Center. We'll be happy to help you.